Back in 2022, I was all in on writing on Twitter and LinkedIn. I was posting almost every day, growing, and even used them to launch my first digital products. But then I abruptly stopped. And in this video, I'm gonna break down why and why these types of platforms may not be the right fit for you either. Let's get into it. If you've watched any of my past videos, you've probably heard me talk about the benefits of short form writing for learning how to hook readers. Writing captivating headlines is one of the most important skills you can learn when creating any type of content online. And platforms promoting short form content are great ways to develop brevity in your writing and learn what readers are drawn to. For me, I found writing on Twitter and LinkedIn to be really helpful tools to learn how to condense my writing into what readers want to see and click on. But over time, I realized I don't get the same satisfaction from writing short form content as I do expressing myself on long form mediums. So although this is just a personal opinion, I've discovered I just don't like short form content. I find when I spend too much time condensing my ideas into shiny bumper stickers, I start to think in bullet points, and I lose a lot of the nuance in my ideas or perspectives, which is also something I see reflected in the audiences of short form content. When it comes to writing or creating content online, feedback is one of the most valuable commodities there is. Especially if you're a small creator, the quickest and most effective way to grow online is to nurture feedback and engage with those who engage with you. Positive, negative, or non-existent, feedback offers you a roadmap and allows you to move forward. If you're constantly receiving negative feedback, you should at least consider adjusting your approach. And if you're only receiving positive feedback, something's wrong as well. When it comes to the audiences on Twitter and LinkedIn, they exist on polar opposite spectrums. On Twitter, I found the audiences to be overly negative and not constructive. Although Twitter was actually not as negative as I had thought before starting, some people just wanted to argue and poke holes in your posts, which there were plenty of because you only have 140 characters to express yourself. On the opposite side, the audience on LinkedIn was overly positive and again, not constructive. When I would read my comments, everything I posted would be amazing, you're amazing, and although it felt good at the time, in hindsight, I began feeding into this positive reinforcement and ended up posting some pretty cringy content. In addition to not vibing with the audiences, I found the pay models added in an unnecessary step to monetization. One of the coolest things about making money online is that there really is no rule book. If you like making videos or writing articles, you can monetize it. If you just like writing comments, you can monetize that as well. And if you can't find a money-making method you like, you can create one. So although most people think of Twitter as a place to vent and LinkedIn as a place to network, the majority of people who create content on them consistently do so to earn money. On Twitter, the standard business model is to pick a niche, offer a free product to start, grow to around 10,000 followers, and then start to market a course, paid product, or offer coaching. This can be done a million different ways through posting tweets, videos, tweet threads, posting spaces, or reaching out to followers via the DMs. This is the business model I followed when I was writing on Twitter. I realized I was spending the majority of my time marketing and not writing. If your goal is solely to make a product and make money, then all this time is well spent. But personally, my top priority has always been to continue developing as a writer. To do this, I need to spend the majority of my time actually writing. Personally, it's more important to enjoy what I'm doing than to become rich, and it's why I much prefer to write on revenue sharing platforms like Medium, Newsbreak, YouTube, and Substack. That way I can focus the lion's share of my efforts on writing and earn enough to survive. In my personal life, I try to stay off of social media as much as possible. and truthfully have enough to keep me occupied in real life without being flooded with a constant stream of external stimuli. Likes and adoration are one of the newest and most powerful drugs in our society. So when I would post on Twitter and LinkedIn almost every day, it was admittedly exciting because in reality, I was waking up to a fresh batch of dopamine each morning. But as I dove deeper into growing on these platforms, I felt like I had to fake it just to remain consistent. As much as we all try to avoid it, it's impossible not to compare yourself to others. And when I would see other creators on the platform reach a certain milestone, I too would want to do better. This caused me to follow popular trends and bend my perspectives just to continue growing, which at the end of the day is not healthy and not something I want to be involved in. Although social media is now an inevitable part of life and business, I try my hardest to write and create on platforms where I can post maybe once or twice a week at most. With this, I can spend more time creating and less time consuming content. One of the most important habits of becoming successful in any walk of life is to understand yourself, both your strengths and limitations. I know from experience I operate best when I keep things simple. Some people are simply better at spreading their attention than others. But for me, I'm a very all or nothing person. When I do something, I want to invest all of my time and energy into it and do the very best I can. Even though when I wrote on Twitter and LinkedIn, I would often schedule my posts ahead of time to save time, I would still constantly be thinking about them. That was time taken away from learning new skills or developing as a writer. Part of the reason why I decided to work for myself is so I could set my own schedule, and having to wake up at peak times to post or respond to comments made me feel like I was no longer running my own schedule. So I have prioritized platforms where I can schedule the content ahead of time and then forget about it, or where I don't have to post as often to give myself more mental space to grow as a writer and gain new skills. With all of that said, these are just my personal opinions. You may feel the same way or completely differently. So although I don't plan on hopping back on Twitter or LinkedIn anytime soon, these platforms may be right for you if you're just starting out and want to learn how to grow an audience, network, or hook readers, if you have things to sell and enjoy marketing, if you prioritize client work such as copywriting, ghostwriting, or script writing, or if you want to feel like you're part of a community and vibe with the audiences on either platform. If you'd like some alternative ways to make money online as a writer, I have a newsletter where I send you bi-weekly articles on how to build side hustles that earn anywhere from $500 to $1,000 per month. It's $5 a month, and to me it's a no-brainer, although I am admittedly biased. I'll leave the link in the pinned comment. And finally, if you do plan or currently write on Twitter, I would highly recommend a tool like Hype Fury to schedule your tweets and tweet threads to save time and mental energy. It's what I used when I was writing on Twitter, and it's the tool that some of the biggest creators on Twitter use to grow their business. I'll add my affiliate link in the description below if you're interested in signing up. That is the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, like, comment, subscribe, and share it with someone who may enjoy it as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.